have our guest here in the studio this morning. The conversation is going to be centered on gender balancing, grooming the boy child to be well suited for the girl child. Because I mean, we live in a time where we have so much focus on the girl child, forgetting that the girl child will still grow up to meet a boy child that was probably not given so much attention, except for the fact that you are a man and you have to work hard and be able to provide for a woman. But aside from that, provision of finances and the rest is not all that a woman wants. There are a whole lot of things that a woman wants. Just the same way we put in so much effort telling the girls you have to be a good wife for your potential husband. But do we really put in that energy to the boys? And so we're talking about, it's going to be a gender balanced conversation, and we do have a person in the studio to really have that conversation with us. Most of her activities are centered on the girl child, and so yes, we're taking it from the other angle. What are the things we're looking out for as girls in our boys, and how can we put in these things into our boys? And don't forget that tomorrow, May 16, is International Day of the Boy Child, so we might as well start the conversation from today. We do have here with us Ambassador Rahab Agwan Azi. Right, I got that well.
You tried.
I tried. Okay.
Yeah, you tried.
She's the founder of Rahab Azi Inspire Initiative, and of course they make sure that they cater to everything about the girl child. I hear she's doing a whole lot of things, but let me not go into the words. Let's come back home. Let's come back home. It's so great to have you.
Thank you so
much.
much.
This is my co-host Martha. Martha, how are you?
I'm good.
Nice meeting you.
Like, the topic is very, very catchy. Grooming the boy child for the girl child.
For the girl child.
It sounded selfish, but I would really love to know what you think about this.
Yeah, thank you so much. It sounds selfish, but it's unique. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, it sounds selfish, but it's unique because balancing the gender is what we're trying to do, because we focus our attention, well, especially me, let me just focus on myself. I focus on the girl child, not because I don't know that the boy child exists. But the girl child, she needs more attention than the boy child. But nowadays in our society, I think we need to balance the equation.
Yes.
The boy child needs attention. Let me put it this way. I'm not being biased, but I am an advocate of a girl child, but the boy child needs attention more now than the girl child.
Yes.
Yes. I'm not
You have my
biased.
votes.
Yeah,
Yes,
thank
you do have my votes.
Why do you think the boy child needs more attention than the girl child?
Now.
Yeah.
Now.
Now, if you look at our society, let's come back to all these illicit drugs and stuff that's going on in the country. Let's look at, it's not as if we don't have it in the girl child. When when you are training up a boy child, their training is train up to treat your wife better, train up to provide for your family. Okay. Why the girl child is, hey, train up to be a very good housewife to your husband, to your dad. Why the whole lot work is on the boy child. So why I'm saying that is because I want to put it to all my girl child out there that we need to stand up and balance the equation. It's not all about the boy. Responsibility has shifted, not only the boy. So I think that's where I can add my voice.
I agree.
That's the thing. Now, financial responsibility has shifted from just the boys to the girls.
Yeah.
But now, that is why the lapses of we not impacting our boy child well is now showing, because you get the point now. So how do we help this situation? Because now, if you ask some girls, they'll tell you that, oh, let's say a girl who is into drugs. If you check the record very, you see that some of these girls were introduced by a guy.
Yeah.
Maybe a boyfriend they were dating, or some guy somewhere trying to help them. A man somewhere. You see a guy, I mean, most times when you are afraid of kidnappers or someone stealing from you, it's not a girl you're afraid of.
No.
It's a boy.
It's a boy.
A guy, right? A boy that became a man. And so many of these vices in our society, it transcends from just being able to provide for the family. Now, a man could be a provider, but he hits his woman. He could be a provider, but he abuses his woman.
Sure.
I mean, so as a women advocacy group, girl child advocacy group, how do you try to balance this aspect, seeing that we are trying to help our girls to be protected, but the people that we are trying to protect them from are not getting help? do you guys get to have this kind of conversations in your group?
Yes, we do. And one of the things I look at there is to balance it, is to empower the boy child.
Okay.
When you empower the boy child, just like what I said, if you empower a girl child, you're empowering the nation. So if you empower the boy child to skill acquisition apart from being educated, you know, you empower him with some skills acquisition trainings, you understand. He may not deviate, because we need to train them, like emotionally. We need to tell them that, okay, girls are the weaker cells. But though we are not the weaker cells. But so a girl child is a weaker cell. You need to protect her, not that you will hit her. So we train them emotionally. For them to consider that this person, my partner, is a weaker cell that I need to support, not to hit. So I think those are the key areas that I want my colleagues to look at. When you are training a boy child, you look at the emotional balance of that boy child.
Okay. Well, I personally do think that the problem of the character flaws with some of the male children and, you know, that of the female, I think it stems from the imbalanced training, like you said, that we give to both parties.
Yeah.
You train the woman to be fit for just the home, and then you train the man to just be a
Provider.
breadwinner, a provider. Don't you think that just as we're advocating for these men being raised to be better women or better husbands or better people, don't you think it's also important to involve the woman? Because I think that these things they work side by side. And by side, I mean that the woman also has a lapse.
Yeah.
The man also has a lapse. And it just has to be like a collaborative effort to ensure that both parties work individually and together as well. What efforts have the organization done to sensitize people on the need to ensure that these kinds of balance in thought patterns are being, you know, upheld and being taken seriously?
Yeah, sometimes, okay, what I would say is that to balance this attention, you need to go back to the parent, caregivers, you know, those that take care of the children. You know, when you look, if you promote the healthy development part of a boy child to balance the equation, it will happen. It will happen. But where in a situation whereby most of the times, if I go out there, I do tell the girl child, I said, gone are the days that a girl child will fold her arms and wait for a boy child to provide for her. So now is a wake-up call for the girl child. But in a situation whereby, if you look at it the other way around, a girl child doing well, she tends to look at the boy child not to be anything. So we now start rubbing shoulders with the boy child, because what we are balancing ourselves on the same equation. So what I want to say here is to the girls, if I look at the biblical part of it, we are supposed to be submissive, but the boy child should not take that for granted.
Do you believe in the submission?
I believe so much.
Okay. Okay.
You think it's a one-party thing?
It's not a one-party thing. The boy will the boy, you know, his work is for him to love and respect. While the woman is doing the submission. But the girl child cannot be submitting to the boy child, and you are not
There's no love
and you're not loving her and respecting her. It will work.
So that's the extent.
Yes.
Submission for love and attention.
Thank you.
I don't agree. I don't agree.
No.
I don't think it should be an exchange.
So what I'm trying to say here is we need to train them equally.
Okay.
Yes, we need to train them. I am an advocate for the girl child. I am so tenacious about the right of a girl child.
What are these rights you speak of?
The gender violence, the rights of a girl child. Mostly when you look at the gender-based violence, where violate a lady, and when you see some of the stigmatization that we have around, and where you tell me that a girl child should not go to school, and that's why I will fight you.
This thing still
Yes,
happen?
it happens.
But
I know
but
one of my events when I went there, the girl woke up to me and said she was able to finish her secondary school because last year I gave JAM to 2 states, Plateau State and Gombe State, 1,300 students. Okay, free JAM registration was conducted last year. So she woke up to me and told me she came to the event, to the center alone. Why? She said her parents said she should go and marry. That school is not important for a girl child.
Okay.
And I registered her in fact, to the greatest surprise, she got 350.
Whoa.
Yes. And I gave her scholarship. Yes. So at that point, you see, when you now you limit the roles of a woman to tell me that no, she should not go to school. That's one of the rights that I fight. And when it comes to help, the stigmatization, that's where I fight too.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you talked about rights. I do have a concern because I don't know if you've seen that happen, but what we were used to seeing is the fact that they will say, oh, you are the guy. Let your sisters go to school. You go and work. Maybe regions, it happens differently, because in some region it is the guy who has to drop out from school for his sisters to go to school, and then he go do menial jobs so they can be able to fend, because he is the man, and so he has to take care of responsibilities. While in some regions it is the guy who goes to school, and then the lady stays at home because, okay, you can go and find a man that can marry you. So looking at how there's disparity across the different groups, ethnicity and the likes, how do we put this in perspective? Because now it's like, don't you think the kids are going to feel cheated? Oh, I have had to drop from school for my sister to go to school. Do you still feel that she's marginalized? When someone is probably hearing someone like yourself say this, and maybe the guy had to do that, how do you speak to a person like that? Don't you think he's going to feel like, oh, so what I did for my sisters doesn't count for something?
Yeah, we have seen such things like that. Where, in fact, even in this modern generation, we've seen it.
Yes.
And some do call. They will reach out to me. Okay, they want to go to school, but they said no, that they shouldn't go to school. They should just stay. I will ask her, maybe if I confront the parents, they will say, because she's a woman. That's one of the regional parts of Nigeria that I know. We say that she's a woman. She will end up in a man's house. And if she ends up in a man's house, she is not expected to do anything the man will provide. And I tell them that, I said, those are the, I always tell them that those are the ancient words. Gone are the days when a woman will sit down and you will now tell her, just sit down there, I will provide for you. With the economic situation in Nigeria now, 2 hands now is better than 1.
Sometimes 2 is not even enough.
Is that even enough?
The 2 is not enough. Because if the income is not much, how do we do? So that's, I do told them, in fact, the day I was talking to my staff, I said, I think we need to advocate more. We need to go, let's talk to some of the regional leaders, let's talk to some of the parents, because the problem is not from the children now, it's from the parents, the guardians. They will be the one to stop them from going to school. So parents were appealing that they should now look at it now, that education is not only for the boy child to go to school and the girl child will end in the kitchen, or the girl child should go to school and the boy should leave.